Listening to me. People are listening to me right now. Great. You can hear Jake. So he was saying a lot of bad things about people, but I will protect you people because you are our audience. Now he was saying, "Where's my mic?" And I start singing, "Where's my mic?" instead of "Where's my mind?" People. I know it's Tuesday for you, and I can't wait to do this podcast. Are we on?
Oh yeah, yeah. They heard everything, but they couldn't hear me, right?
Now they can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Just making sure they can hear me.
Yeah. So welcome everyone. I really enjoyed that you people are here. We have a special guest today, and
Not
making this
yet.
podcast is.
John
I mean,
Cena's
no,
not on
not
the
right now.
podcast. She's coming. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what she's doing right now, but she will come on the podcast later.
John Cena. You say John Cena.
Oh wait, apparently they did hear me. I don't
You
know.
see.
Yeah.
Anyway, so um, welcome everyone to Toon Talk 2.0. Today's a special day because we're celebrating a lot of things.
It's a
We have a
very
special
special day.
guest.
Actually, no,
It's a very
there's a lot of things to celebrate. Like you
a lot.
yeah,
Like your
like
first erection in 20 years. I mean, Jake,
m-
congratulations.
man, I'm telling you what. I It had been so long when it happened. I thought I was sick. I called 911.
And I'm happy that it happened with me, Jake.
And
I
then
was
Virus
online,
woke up.
people. Don't. And then I woke up. And today we gotta have a special, unique episode because we got a pre-production meeting before every episode. Could be 5 days in advance. Could be half an hour in advance.
That's true.
But the most important.
We did plan last week too, so we killed two birds with one. I mean, next week, not last week. We planned this week for next week. I don't know. I'm tired.
It's okay. He's tired. But we haven't been able to sleep. I got a couple of things that I want to share with you. First of all, you need to like and share. I always forget to say this. Like and share, people. It's not that hard. Look, you grab your little beautiful finger and you put the little thumbs up and share. You just click it. All your friends will come in. Just select the ones that you hate the most, and we'll be happy with that. So,
Tell you what, share it to all your enemies, put their names in the comments, and we will make fun of them verbally.
oh, I love this so much. New section. Power police. Yeah. Anyway, so the first thing is that, as you know, Ready Media and Force and Corp had sex,
They did.
right? And they merged in a beautiful thing. And we have a PR company now, and we have a record label. I don't know if you can see, right? And today, I mean, this has been happening for a little bit, a little while.
Yeah,
But
but
today,
we couldn't talk about it because like it hadn't been done
I
yet.
know,
You know how
I
like
know.
and you don't want to be that guy who's like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff. You want to be the guy who's like, look, I did all this stuff. In this case, we heavy on the we.
And it goes to every time. I mean, you're not going to tell to somebody, I'm going to go and take a crap in your bedroom. No, you say, can I use the bathroom? And then you come on and say, what the fuck big shit did I just took?
She's
You know
like,
what?
you got to see this. It
You
must be
got to
like
see this, man.
it's got to be
Selfies
like
with the
it's got to be
selfies
like
with the.
it's got to be at least 8 Keurigs.
That's fantastic. Hello, Shaquille O'Neal kids. Hi, kids. I don't care if you get mad at you,
No,
big fella. So,
do you get the reference?
yeah, of course.
Okay, just making
Eight
sure.
girls. Yeah. So, anyway, but
Do
the best thing
you,
about that,
America, do you get the reference? Because you should.
America, everyone is watching you. I gotta say that it's been working for a long time. We have other partners that they want to keep silent partners.
The best kind.
I wish there were. Yeah, but you know what? I wish when I say that they're really bad people with a lot of money. But no, they're not. They don't have. They're not even bad or have money. So whatever. But today, the first album as part of the company came out. Is the
Was that
album
to,
from the rock band? Go ahead.
was that today or last night? Oh no, it was today.
No, last night
Last
was the private party. Come on, dude. Now you own her, so you go to private
I
parties.
was there. I was there. I just got confused.
So today it was released the first album of our band, our family, Valaina. And guess what? Right now, is number 9
I
in
saw that.
iTunes. And that's fantastic, people, because we're a small company full of talented people with not a lot of budget, sometimes not budget at all. So we're doing good. We're doing great.
Well, what I always say though is good shit is good shit. The cream rises to the top. And to me, it's always better because the question I get asked all the time, and I actually looked into it the other day, doing about like financial boosting, that kind of stuff. Um, Never done it yet, but to me, it just seems like when you do get a lot of views or when you do become number 9 on iTunes without having to buy it, it's even better.
Yeah. It's even better because it's real people following real artists. So I don't have anything against people that have amazing budgets and they go and break it, but being able to see the first album of your record label of people that you love and respect over a single of Metallica, it was mind blowing. Was mind blowing, regardless of what single it is. So thank you for the people on iTunes and thank you for Valaina to giving us their trust and their talent. So and that will invite us to our guest later on, right? We gotta celebrate other things besides Jake's Erection. We should do a boy band called Jake's Erection instead of One Direction.
I
Anyway,
like it.
uh, today's the in Latin America today we celebrate the Kids Day. It's called Dia del Niño. Is today. So for everyone that is dating a Latina around that listening, today you celebrate the kid. Can you send it a happy meal? It's really important for Latin America, Dia del Niño. So I'm just saying anyone that is listening this. What else? What else? What good news we have so
I
far?
I got a new car.
Oh, I remember I saw the car. Yeah. People are gonna think that we're actually doing a lot of money, bro. New
It's
car, new
coinc
album.
complete coincidence. The engine in my truck went out,
Yeah.
and no, actually, I've got so used to not having a car
Me
payment.
drinking kombucha from the bottle. What's going on?
What's it? Oh, Synergy. I thought it said syringe. I was like, I don't know if that's kombucha.
Just a big syringe.
But yeah, no, I bought myself an electric car.
Yeah, it's really good. Why? Because we're saving the planet, people. We're still working in dry splash. We have other projects, but let's not minimize the success from Valaina because something really big, right? Having your first album and going straight to number 9. So I wanna obviously gonna say hello to the members of the band. Rachel, the singer, Val, the guitar player and producer, Animal, the drummer, Hunter, the bass player, the PR agency that we own. Man. Lorraine in the helm of that. Good job. We're doing a good job. But let's get back to entertainment today. When we were in the production meeting today, I thought, well, let's be honest. Jake told me what the hell we're gonna do today, because of
Actually,
course
no,
we're
this one.
launching an album.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
this one was you. I suggested out of desperation the TikTok ban, and then you hit this. I'm like, oh yeah, that's more us.
yeah. So there's been a theory around. And I want everyone to close their eyes. Know if you're driving, and if you're driving, sorry, call your insurance. Close your eyes. Let's go back to the Empire Strike Back. And please, stop there. I'm not gonna go on to do a nerdy thing about Star Wars. This is not about Star Wars. It's
He's not
connected, but
lying.
it's
It's
not.
not. It's yeah. It's necessary.
I need you to listen to see yourself in that scene when Chewie is at the left, tied up in the back C-3PO. Leia is in front of Han, and Leia says, "I love you." And Hans replies,
I know.
"Oh." That moment, then he goes to frozen carbonite. But the question of today is, what's going on in Han Solo's mind? Why?
Before we go down that rabbit hole, I have a question for the ladies in the audience because I want to know. It strikes me as Han saying "I know" instead of "I love you too." That seems like it's way hotter.
Yeah, let me tell you why, man. Because he already, and this is something solid. Not nowadays. Nowadays has how I say this, has a proof of content, if you will. It's a trendy thing to say. Words, action before words, right? Prove your words with action. So he already saved her from the Empire. They already proved their love. Him saying "I know" is the hotter way because he's already giving his life for her there. If
And
she say "I love you too," we'll be weak.
yeah, well, and the other reason, which I think nobody really talks about or thinks about, is the reason Leia says it is because up to that point she's been acting like he's a nuisance and he's this, he's that, a scruffy looking nerf herder, if you will. And that
Scruffy
moment,
looking,
who's scruffy looking? It's like
but
them's big words from a
I,
girl that kissed her brother.
she didn't know, bro. Come
I
on.
know that. You know what? That's the kind of excuse that I would hear in Alabama. I didn't know she's my sister.
Hey, and first of all, if you put the biggest game of Tatooine in our world, it's Alabama or
No, Alabama.
Kentucky. So let me get, because I promised the fans it's
Technically, it
not going
would
to be a
be.
Star Wars thing.
I was say technically it would be Arizona, but
There you go, same difference, 1939. Who fucking cares? So the gold fever was weird in so many places. Anyway,
you're saying
so
you're saying shit got weird out in the frontier.
so the point is, what was in Han Solo's mind? Lately, well, not lately, probably this theory's been around for 20 years now, and I will gonna go deep on that. Is Indiana Jones full films? I'm talking about everything. Is actually Han Solo's dream? There you go. Is everything that it was happening in his memory and in the sound outside at Java's is connected to what we see? It's never been verified or denied by even Spielberg or Lucas. However, I got balloons. However, come on, give it to me. How? Whatever. However, it's something that fans love, but it becomes weird because actually the fans from Indiana Jones say it, or the fans from Star Wars say it. It's many things that we need to talk about. So that's what the show is about. Like I said, we got a special guest, but Indiana Jones full filmography is actually Han Solo's dreams in the whole year that he's trapped in carbonite. Yeah, welcome to Toon Talk 2.0. Yeah, you know what? Now that I thought about it, why we don't do this and then you put the intro? Could be harder.
Huh? Why we
Like, why
do
we
this
don't
and
do
then we
this
do?
beautiful intro and then you put the intro? Will be cool for next time. We do the
Oh,
intro, what the show is about, then we put the intro.
oh, there you go. Yeah, just have to
I mean, I'm
flip
a
some
little
keys.
poetic today because I'm getting better after everything that was going around, so I'm really happy. Obviously, the album makes me happy. So let's dig into that. First of all, I know that you don't believe that that's a good theory, right? Let's
Nope.
start with a simple thing. You remember the Temple of Doom, right?
Yes.
You like that movie.
I it was actually my favorite when I was growing up. It's not now, but I still love it. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
So
Temple
why we
Temple
don't
of
do
Doom used to be a
this?
favorite.
Let's do something, because I want to prove my point. Like we're in a jury here. We're gonna let the people vote, and I want people to say yes or no at the end of the show. Anytime that you want to see, I want your comments. But let's be honest. Let's talk about Indiana Jones movies, and every time that is a synchronicity, a serendipity. How do you say that in English? Serendipity,
Serendipity.
serendipity, or even a coincidence that is connected, an iconography, and a specific moment that will be connected to Star Wars. We will talk about that. Sounds good.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of reaching here, but
Uh, okay.
let's do it.
First of all, first of all, The way to consider reaching or not is full perspective, bro. Full perspective, right? I mean, I can tell you right now that we born because the universe explode. That's reaching because we don't fucking know. Oh, wait. We're made because the woman is made from the right rib of Adam. We don't know. That's reaching too. Perspective.
That's I would say we're pretty definitively know that that's not accurate.
Yeah, but people believe in that, and why? Because of faith.
Okay, there's but yeah,
Be-
okay, but hang on. You're talking about two completely different things. So the
yeah,
Big
but there's
Bang,
believers and not believers.
yes, belief is irrelevant when it comes to the truth.
Don't say that to our politics in America, but go.
There's a lot of shit people believe in America that's bullshit, but they still believe it. So you're
That's
talking,
what I'm saying.
but specifically your two examples. You're talking about the Big Bang, and so first of all, there's two creation stories in the book of Genesis, and only one of them mentions the rib. That's Genesis 2.
The one from Peter Gabriel. Sorry, keep going. I know.
Anyway, the Big Bang, while we didn't observe it while it happened, we couldn't have. We have observed things in the universe that have been measured multiple different ways. So that's the reason they came up with the theory in the first place. Because they saw a bunch of shit happening and thought, how can we explain that? And then they basically worked it backwards. It's observable. That's why it's so called the Big Bang Theory, because no one's actually seen it happen, but they have observed it on smaller scales. They know that it's possible. They see
It's
things.
possible.
Right, but we also see things that have happened, and there are behaviors all throughout the universe that we have observed that would happen if that were the case.
And I understand what you're telling me, but not because you talk a lot, really pretty, and you're really cultivated means that it's not reaching because we really don't know. I still believe sometimes that the earth is flat. You believe that it's not. Why it could be considered reaching for me, for earth flatters, you believe that it's reaching for you. I don't
Because
believe that we've been.
that's not how gravity works.
Who told you that? You were there with Newton.
Every
You were in
every
part.
every single celestial body in the universe that we have seen is at least round-ish. If not, it's not a perfect sphere. If it's not spherical, it is at least round-ish. Like even fucking asteroids are round. There's not a single flat asteroid or planet or comet or fucking anything. So why is the Earth the only one?
The same thing that is the only one that spin and is the only one that is like this,
It's
dude.
not. It's
We
not
are.
the only one that's spinning.
It's not flat. The earth flatters. We don't believe that it's flat. We don't believe that it's round and beautiful. We believe that the is flat and then it's like an asteroid in the bottom. But whatever. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
That's news to me. So you
Yeah,
believe
that's
it's
what
an
I said.
upside? So you believe it's an upside down pyramid?
Me and my other me. Can you see my other me?
Nice Oscar.
Doo, doo, doo. It's my alien person, dude. Do you like it?
I
It's
do.
actually made from recycled gas made in Spain, handmade in Spain. For the people that they are just listening to this podcast, it's a beautiful uh, glass made. How you call it? Crane?
Head.
Come on, just grab it, grab it. Digitally grab it, Jake, and just give it to me so you can give me head. Sorry, Jake is giving me head, everyone. I can't help
Not
myself sometimes. Sorry.
not with my hand.
Yeah, people are listening to this web podcast. You
What?
see, reaching, imagination. So let's
You just
imagine.
you just proved my
I know.
point.
You know what? Whatever. What I'm gonna say is like the first thing in the what is the second one? Temple of
Chronologically,
Doom.
or yeah, yeah.
Oh, whatever. We're gonna jump from one to another because everybody knows Indiana Jones.
Well,
If
but
you haven't seen Indiana Jones,
yeah, but chronologically, Temple of Doom is first, so it's a good place to start.
however, if you haven't seen Indiana Jones, finish the podcast and then go and watch the fucking movies because you're missing out big time.
Get off your ass.
So, just to question you something, and I don't want an explanation of because they wanted. No, 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 no. I'm talking about the stories here. What is the name of the restaurant dash bar? What is the name of the restaurant dash bar where the first scene happens in Temple of Doom?
I don't recall.
Do you want me to tell you? The name of the
Please.
bar is called Obi-Wan. You're really gonna check that?
I am.
Bro, the name of the bar restaurant dash when they fight and they escape to the car is called Obi-Wan. That's what every reference start coming through. And I'm
Well,
gonna
okay, you're right. Club Obi-Wan.
thank you. Oh, suddenly I'm not reaching, right?
Well,
Huh.
here's the problem with that,
Don't,
though.
don't, don't. Of course, there's plan for everything. Just let me savor it for a second. What is the
Okay,
name of the
okay.
restaurant again?
It's Club Obi-Wan.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with the obvious ones. Okay, the
Okay,
obvious
okay.
ones.
Okay, so I was actually not aware of this, so now you're making me a bit more of a believer. So yeah, please continue.
In the what is the name of the first one?
Temple of
The
Doom.
Ark?
Oh, Raiders
No,
of the
no.
Lost Ark, yeah.
I'm gonna jump from. I'm just gonna give you three big ones, and then we can develop everything. In the Lost Ark, when he's retrieving, that's what I have here. Do you remember the and measure the and in the back right, you can see clearly C3PO holding R2D2, and in the back the Millennium Falcon. I'm not lying to you, bro.
I just want to see it. I believe you.
So it's connected. That's what the theory comes out. Now, there's a lot of circumstances that if you analyze the human behavior of Indiana Jones, right? First of all, the way that Indiana Jones shoots the gun is really similar.
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Oh, you're watching it now? I'm not kidding. For a reason, we have a podcast. We're journalists. Yes, I went to school for journalism. I did a
It's
solid 7 minutes, 7 minutes investigation to make this
oh
2 hour
Jesus.
podcast.
It's 3PO and R2 actually.
And there's a Millennium Falcon in another scene. If you pay attention to the left side, you can see like a circle, but if you zoom in, you see that it's the perfect shape of Millennium Falcon. So you see, Jake, so far, Indiana Jones never existed. Indiana Jones is a dream inside Han Solo's head. Maybe yes, maybe not, but so far we're there, right?
Oh no, but I have wow, I found a what is this? Is this a fan fiction?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. I'm with you.
Okay, check this out. The Millennium Falcon, according to this, where is okay. The Millennium Falcon crash landed on Earth from a faraway galaxy in the 19th century. Afterwards, pilot Han Solo was killed by the native Indians, but the ape-like co-pilot Chewbacca lived to roam the forest and became known as the Sasquatch.
Okay.
Over a century
Okay.
later, Indiana Jones and Short Round searched for Sasquatch. They found the crashed Falcon and Solo's remains, of which Jones thought looked eerily familiar.
Okay, let's continue with what we know, right?
Wait, hang on. Apparently there was a legitimate crossover into the great unknown. What is this? Oh, it's a comic book run.
Thank you.
Oh, this
Let
is
me read
pretty
you
sweet.
this.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
know. Let me read this. The Lost Treasure. In the Millennium Falcon appears in Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's a scene with the famous hieroglyphic marking the Millennium Falcon can be spotted carved on a pillar, right? There now. In the new Solo movie, and this is big, man. You gotta flip after I tell you this. This one is big. because it was one of the sweetest Easter eggs I ever seen in the Solo movie. At the end of the movie, when they come back pretending that they fought and they have, when Solo sits, Han sits back in the back is the same uh, golden gold that he retrieved. Just look at it. Just look at it. Is the same that he retrieved in the arts of the in the Lost Ark before the big sphere.
Okay, so I'm going to take this even further.
Okay.
I'm going to take it even further in that all of the movies that George Lucas and or Steven Spielberg did that have Harrison Ford in it. Oh no, that wouldn't work. Shit. Never mind. It
No,
doesn't
no,
work.
no, no, no. It's just these two.
Because I was trying to throw American Graffiti in there, but it doesn't work
No, I mean you can say that he
because it
farts and
well
smells
it
like
yeah.
Chewbacca.
Well, Indiana Jones would have been alive in 1962. That's why I
Yeah, but he'll be really old. He will be
wait.
around because
No.
actually
No,
he's
he
40 in 1935.
yeah, no, so maybe he hang on, we got to see this. I might be able to connect them.
And if we go to the last movie from Indiana Jones, you remember that he travels in time.
Correct.
How he travels in time, Jake? Using what? Jake,
Okay.
look at me.
I don't
How he
know.
travels in time?
What, the Dial of Destiny?
No, no, but how he travels in time.
I don't know. I didn't watch the movie yet.
Oh, you haven't watched the movie yet?
No.
It's a iconography of and a resemblance of how they go in speed.
Well, that makes sense because technically speaking, if you the faster you approach this, the closer you are to the speed of light, the more time slows down, and once you exceed the speed of light, you actually travel backwards in time. But
Cool, Einstein. Let's go back to Indiana Jones. So I just told you a couple of things. The way that he acts is really cool. Have you noticed the difference of the way that he looks in Star Wars and the way that he looks? I'm not talking about characterization of an actor. He he never dies, obviously, Indiana Jones. He comes and survives every little aspect like a dream. Tell me, in every one of the movies when he fights, it's like how many people he fights in the Lost Ark?
I mean, a lot. But you know what I like about Indiana Jones is like, yeah, he fights a lot of guys, but he gets the shit kicked out of him, generally speaking.
Yeah, like Han Solo.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Because see his mind. Let's humor me for a second. So I already give you three or four things. If you are Jake and you go to sleep and you dream, you're gonna have reference of Jake. Even in your dream, you are, I don't know, somebody super cool like Virus Vox, right? You're gonna have reference of Jake. That's what's happened. I think that that probably started as a goof between George Lucas and Spielberg because
Oh, yeah.
obviously they knew what they were doing, but it transcends, and that's what is this trilogy is so big.
Okay, so not to cut you off, but this touches on something that I actually find very fascinating. I cannot remember what this theory is called, but I always kind of dubbed it the comic book theory, which isn't really accurate because it works for any work of fiction. But basically, the theory goes is that when you create a fictional work, no matter what form it may take, but it works for comic books really well, because you have the story and you have like the physical representation in the drawing, is that the moment you create that, you actually do create a new universe that's just normally not directly accessible to you. And the theory postulates that the universe we live in now is just a created work of fiction from another, and not even necessarily more intelligent, but just from beings on another plane. And so, technically speaking, if let's say that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg created those Easter eggs, I'm taking it a step further. Assuming that theory is accurate, what if you could actually join said universes by changing the fictional story around? Basically, it's just an extension of multiverse theory.
Yeah, I like that theory. I mean, again, but now it sounds like you're reaching.
Well,
Sorry.
that's the beauty. You can't really disprove it because and this gets into
You can
rational.
disprove it. You can disprove it that we born from. I mean, there's people that think that we evolved from the fish. There's people that say that we evolved from the reptile, from the
Actually,
monkeys, from the
actually,
apes. I mean,
there's actually pretty compelling evidence other than the fossil record and DNA, that a distant. I mean, I'm not talking like thousands of years. I'm talking hundreds of billions
millions.
of years, billions, billions. The reason, though, that we have a common ancestry with fish of today is our eyes. Your eyes have to be wet to function.
I like that.
Well, no, that's
I
true.
like that.
That's
And to be honest, for things to function correctly in the human body, need to be wet.
well, no, but even
You really walk into that? Really, man? You're telling me that things need to be wet to work? Are you serious, bro?
well, but
Are you
that's also
serious?
why as long as you don't wear collective corrective lenses, the human eye functions perfectly underwater.
Hmm. No, I keep liking that thing.
Well, and then here's another brain buster for you. Did you know
Please.
that as far as we can tell now, the eye has evolved independently 4 times in the history of this planet because there are different
I'm
kinds of
listening.
eyes. Well, there are different kinds of eyes, and they're different enough to say that some may or may not be of a like again, and I'm not talking compound eyes even. I mean just these
Yeah.
binocular vision eyes. It's wild. Absolutely wild.
It's really, I mean, I kind of like that one, but the other one blew my mind when I'm kind of still thinking of wet things. I mean, that the eye needs to stop to be wet to work.
It's true, man.
And we born inside a water thing, the mm, like a dolphin.
But so where I was going with this, I don't know so much. I don't know. I see. I'm coming up with a different theory. I'm coming up with, instead of this being a carbonite dream, I think Indiana Jones is a reincarnation of Han Solo.
Okay, that might be because there's a theory that says that actually they coexist in the same universe.
Hmm.
Why? Because evolution, right? It could be before and after, but and that's not impossible, right? But I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sorry, you remind me of this. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Have you seen The Last Survivor on TikTok?
Mm-mm.
This guy that says that he's in a different universe, a parallel universe, when he's the only one that survived. So he posts visiting. Stay with me. Stay with me.
I don't.
Because I'm not saying that I believe it, right? I actually know how he does it, or I assume that I know how he does it because we really don't know. But the guy has millions of followers because people are telling him, go to this stadium, right, to prove me that you're in that. And he goes to the stadium, and the stadium is empty. He goes to the Vatican inside, and it's empty. I know you're laughing, but it's
Oh, I
something
want to see
interesting.
this. I want to see
And
this.
I'm gonna tell you something. I obviously will listen to a lot of podcasts and see other podcasts. But he's in Spanish though, so he's having made the cross to America as much. Um, El último sobreviviente on TikTok. That's his username. I will put it right here. I mean, the guy has millions of views because he is like, where do you want me to go next? And the person really put the Vatican, right? Prove me wrong. And he put you the video of the Vatican empty. And some people are, you filming in 2020, dude. It's the Vatican. Shut the fuck up, right? He went to I think the Manchester United stadium, and it's empty, and he's walking everywhere. So of course, it's a great editor because I know how to cut. Because you film it wide and then you select what parts were not people. But how the fuck he went into the Vatican, bro? Even the guidance tour in the Vatican, if you pay for a guidance tour by yourself, it's too expensive. And it's hard that the other day, wait, somebody said, oh, really? Walk to a dealership and get a Lambo and drive it away. The motherfucker
Well,
went in, grabbed the keys, and drove it away.
that's easy. Test drive it.
No, bro, but nobody's there but him. He would have
I
to be
know.
paying
I know.
people a lot. I don't know.
And
I want to believe. You know what? I don't want to live in a world that everything is rational because our life is rational already. What we eat, what has gluten, what's not gluten, Amazon, Disney Plus, and I like that. That's our life.
well,
But there's
I
sometimes that I want to dream.
I can make you happy then because you want to know the most rational irrational thing ever,
Okay,
and they exist. Irrational numbers.
I'm listening.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like the fact that irrational numbers are a thing, which makes them rational because they exist, but they're irrational because they shouldn't exist or they shouldn't be able to exist, and yet they do.
The simple, I think we take a lot of things for granted, and we're so used to things that we don't surprise ourselves anymore because we're
I
achieving
agree.
milestones. Well,
I
just
agree.
want milestones. We just want goals. We have our task. Like, do you know what I hate in social media? And I know we're going far from Indiana Jones, but that's fine. We will get back in a second. What I hate about social media, and I think that is not good, is these people that the only job is making posts revealing the magic tricks of other magicians. Like, dude, it's like telling kids about Santa Claus. Why? You don't need to do that, bro. You don't need to decode why the guy is floating or decode why the guy changed his clothes. It's pointless because you're killing magic.
I don't know. Sometimes revealing the why can make things better because this is a hell of a tangent. But so
Mm.
as I've mentioned before, I'm doing my rewatch of South Park because I've never watched it in its entirety. And so everybody loved the oh my god you killed Kenny blah blah yeah it was funny for a bit. But when they explained it, the show
Please
got
explain it to the followers.
so for those of you who don't know, Kenny McCormick and there's actually they haven't actually explained exactly how it works, but there are some theories. So Kenny is fully aware that he dies and he comes back. And sometimes it varies. Sometimes he'll go to heaven. Sometimes he'll go to hell. Sometimes he just reappears, but he always reappears in his bed. And when he goes to school or out the next day, nobody remembers that he died. Now, the working theory that they've kind of planted in the show is that his parents, when his mother was pregnant with him, they like to just go to meetings to get drunk. And one of them was a Cult of Klandathu meeting, and they actually did some kind of ritual on Kenny's mother while she was drunk. But it leads into
Wow.
he's one of the few characters like in the superhero arcs they do, which are fucking brilliant. He's one of the only characters that actually has powers, and his power is that he is effectively immortal in that he can be
I mean,
resurrected. Yeah,
he's immortal.
yeah, he
He
can
just needs
die,
to
but
rest
he's
a
gonna
couple of hours.
yeah.
Like Wolverine.
Well, it's not a healing factor. Oddly enough, it's like Jesus in South Park. They're immortal, but through
Yeah.
resurrection. And then you have people like Satan in South Park that are just like invulnerable immortal. And Man Bear Pig is
Mm.
another. But apparently in South Park, only an immortal can kill an immortal. But what we don't know is if Kenny is killed by an immortal, will he come back or not? We don't know that.
Mm.
And
Interesting.
I love that they haven't spelled it out completely. So I guess that makes you right in a way, but giving that kind of depth to a comedy character actually, in my opinion,
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised.
made the show vastly better. And not to say it was
Because I'm
bad.
gonna be honest with you, I was a fan for 4 seasons. What are we now? 30 seasons? I don't even know how many.
26, I think, 25, 26.
See, I was a really good fan. I got. I remember in my office that time I got the four
Oh,
characters
nice.
and Kenny on the side. I always put on the side because he was dead, and I love it, right? And it was a thing because oh my god, they killed Kenny was a funny thing to do. It was like what's up? Exactly the same thing. But suddenly it just become a little repetitive for me, and I disappear. Like totally, I actually get back to listen about it because of you,
Yeah. Well,
right?
that's why they actually, well, I say permanently, their plan was to kill Kenny off permanently in seasons 5 or 6, I think. Um, and then they eventually brought him back. But
That's funny.
I remember though it was Because South Park premiered in '97, and I would have been 10 or 11. And there were a lot of concerned parents because apparently there were some, and I have no qualms saying this, there were some dumbass kids that killed themselves because of a cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that happened.
it didn't happen a lot. They really sensationalized it, but apparently there was one. I remember seeing it on the news. There was
Yeah,
one kid.
but
Yeah, I know. It's
go ahead.
probably bullshit. But allegedly, the kid said before he hung himself, "See you next week, guys," or something like that, and then fucking hung himself.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
he
not.
was could be talking about Cheers. Don't blame South Park.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, it was. But that's the other thing is now they can say it's like, well, no, we just. What kind of moron watches a cartoon and commits suicide?
You want me to start with a list of people that I don't like? Anyway, so going back to Indiana Jones.
Yeah, back to Indiana Jones.
Um, the and let's go to the movies. Something I like about the first one, that it will be the second one chronologically, is that you never see the enemy. The real enemy is Hitler. You never saw him until the third one, because Hitler is the one that is sending his
Oh yeah.
morons. So he's the real enemy. I mean, the top notch. And in every other movie, finally you're gonna see the big enemy and fight against the big boss. Not in Indiana Jones. He portrayed himself important, but just in an area, and that's what I like. And that's how it connects so well in the third one, because he actually shake the hand of the Fuhrer, and that's really cool because they already drag us for two movies with the intention of. I'm talking about the Lost Ark, and we have several enemies. We don't have the same one. If you
Well,
remember,
technically, the major antagonist of Raiders of the Lost Ark is a Frenchman.
no, no, wait, exactly. But the Frenchman is just a higher gun, and
Yeah.
it's Indiana Jones version
Yeah.
from France. He's,
Well,
he's
he
the
was.
antagonist, but he's not the enemy. He's
Well, he,
hired by the
yeah. Well,
Nazis.
well, he was Vichy.
I know. Beachy. Remember how he makes fun of it? Yeah. So one of the and you know that was probably in my perception the first movies that had those little touch of comedy when you're not expecting it. When the German guy comes on and is gonna punish Marion, and he open and pull, looks like a chain with things, and then he pull it in his hanger to hang his coat. Those little things like that. However, like I say, so knowing that he was fighting this big enemy that he knows that he's never gonna fight, is a resemblance from the Emperor. Because Han Solo is never gonna see the Emperor. He will never be. Why? Because it's a small dog in a big pond. It's important for the ecosystem of the two movies. But something that I like, the soldiers, they have their sergeant. I don't ever remember the scene with the airplane that he's fighting this massive guy, right? That's one enemy. But before in that movie, we have that iconic shot when the guy comes with the swords, remember? And he just pulled the gun and shoot him like that. That's
I.
so Han Solo. Please don't tell me that that's not Han Solo, bro.
Oh no, it is, but I love the story behind that. For those who don't
Please
know,
share.
so Harrison Ford was apparently suffering from hellaciously bad food poisoning, and there was supposed to be like a big choreographed fight scene, and I believe his exact words were, "Can't I just shoot the bastard?"
And it worked perfectly. Yeah. Yeah.
Which actually throws a
And
wrench. It throws a wrench in the chronology though, because the movies were released Raiders, then Temple of Doom, and the gag is in Temple of Doom he goes to shoot the guy again, but his gun is missing.
yeah, that's a big mistake.
Which that's
But
a yeah, that's a tag to Raiders of the Lost Ark, but you would think which I don't know that they planned that. I think they did actually, which is why it I'm not
I
going to
think
say
they
it's a
did.
mistake. I well, yeah, I think they did. I'm not going to say it's a mistake, but it shows that the moment in Raiders was improvised because if they were playing into it on purpose, they probably would have done something where he like checked first before he just reaches. But in Raiders, he just reaches for it, which is a great gag. It's hilarious.
It's a great gag. So, can you tell me the similarities between Marion and Princess Leia?
They're both really headstrong. They're both tough.
They're both
Yeah,
brunettes. They're
yeah,
both blonde. They're blonde, small,
yeah. And it's
skin
established.
similar,
It's
eyes
established.
similar.
It's also established that Han is older than Leia, correct? At some point.
Correct.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
let's be honest. That's what's messed up because Leia was 17 and Han was like 30.
that's right. Which they don't really talk about it, but yeah, because Luke and Leia were twins, and Luke is
And they were 17. Luke is
yeah.
17 in the New Hope. That means that Leia is actually 17 and 2 seconds.
So Marion's actually older than Leia. Interesting.
So because
Not
it's the
not
yeah.
when they. Well, it'd probably be about this. It'd
Not
be a
when they
similar
met,
age
but
gap.
hold on a second.
Yeah.
Because supposedly in the story, Marion dad trains Han Solo.
You mean Indy?
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. For me, it's the same. Why? Because that's what this podcast is about.
It's the same
Trains
guy.
Indy
Yeah.
is the same guy. Is the same guy. Not just of the actor. It's the same guy. Uh, um. So he trained him. So he got the reference of an old person being an emblematic to find her love. Do we repeat that? Yes. If it's the same writer, of course, but it's the same. It's the same pattern. We're humans. We repeat same patterns. If I if I dream about being a Spider-Man sooner or later, right? I'm gonna eat some quesadillas because I'm Latino. Even I'm a Spider-Man in the
So
dream.
you
I mean,
so
in the
you're
dream.
so you're just Miles Morales.
Thank you. Racist. Okay, sorry.
Who?
Yeah,
Miles?
no, you. I'm kidding.
It's
I
New
know you
York
get
City. Peter
offended.
Parker's had quesadillas.
Yeah, you know what? I was surprised. You know how many percentage of Latinos are in Oregon?
Oregon?
So yes, I'm talking about not the border, upway.
Yeah.
How much? How many?
Like cerca de Canada?
Close to Canada, yes. Like whole Oregon thing. How
Yeah.
many population? What percentage of population are Latinos in Oregon? No, in Oregon,
35%.
48.
Almost half. Wow, really?
The population is more in Oregon than in California.
Of 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 Latinos.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Weird. That seems
It's weird.
like I believe
I
you
was
because
having a
you would have
conversation.
because you would have looked it up, right? But that
I
seems
looked
like
it
it would be
up and I was like,
wrong.
what? No, because of the space is bigger, man. The space is bigger. That's it. That's the answer. However, it's crazy the number.
True, but if you include Baja California, I bet it changes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but that's not part of of the country. Anyway, so
Tiene
it's
California,
funny.
tiene California en el nombre.
Tiene California en el nombre. There you go. That's good. You're getting good with Spanish. So repeat
I
after me in
practice more.
Spanish. Han Solo is Indiana Jones. You see, it's really fun.
Han Solo es Indiana Jones. Jones.
No, Jones. What do you say?
Jones.
Why you change it? Why you change it? It's still Indiana Jones. It's not Jones.
You
You
didn't
say
say and
Jones.
you didn't say anything about Han Solo, but you said, you know,
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. On a solo.
On El Solo. Uh, so anyway, back to Indiana Jones. This is funny. Um, my point is that I really wanna. I enjoy believing that actually
Those things that you pointed out make me believe the reincarnation thing, although now I want quesadillas.
you know that people actually comment that they think you are high sometimes.
That's hilarious because I've never been high in my life.
Let's change the subject here. No, I mean I've been high, but like I don't like weed. It's a weird feeling for me. I lose control. Not like I lose control. No, not that kind of lose control. It's not like I don't feel full control of everything, and that drives me
That's
crazy.
that's one of the reasons I don't partake is because yeah, I don't want that. I want to be in control of my faculties and
Let me tell you the story. I want to share this story with you and the audience. It was, I don't know, 2002, probably, I don't know, something like that. I got this awesome neighbor. Hey, Faris, right? Faris, his dad was from Lebanon, like my dad. We were friends, we were neighbors. I go to his house, he comes to my house. Like when I say neighbors, it's like next door neighbors, right? Remember that in Mexico City, everything is one next to each other, right? I could probably jump from my roof to his roof, if that makes sense. Then we grew up, we split a little, but then we started hanging because he was a drummer. And
Mm.
even I had my drummer, he was hanging with us. So one day he goes and says, "Hey, I got weed." And I say, "I will not do that. I need to go and record to the studio." The drummer in that time, Sonic, picks me up with delay, the guitar player. And Faris is like, "Hey, you guys don't want anything?" We're like, "No, of course not." But Sonic wanted to get high. So I don't know how this happened, okay? We went to the studio. We're recording probably 10, 11 p.m. We start recording like at 4. And Sonic got the idea that he wanted to get high. So he told the DJ we're working with, his nickname was DJ Ice, Ojos, right? I don't know. Was a
Oh,
long time. Was the 2000?
DJ Eyes, not Ice. Got it.
Yeah, no, yeah. Um, so suddenly they say, "You want to smoke?" I say, "No, man. You're already finished. Let's celebrate." I say, "No, I don't like weed, right? I mean, I don't. Come on, just one shot." And I went, I did this. Look at me, Jake. Just to play dumb, right? And the leg went like this. They shake my head. I got tap, tap. And they start laughing really bad. And the last thing I remember was, ha ha ha, that was hydroponic.
Mm.
That's the last thing I remember. Then I found myself with black memory going to a party to the hills, being on the party, don't remember what the fuck I did. And then I woke up in Faris' house the next day, hugging his father's ashes. So as you realize, that was the last time I smoked weed. I woke up with my best friend and his dad hugging the urn of that ashes, bro.
Fun story about drugs. Um, I think my cat legitimately has roid rage because
Okay,
he's been prescribed steroids for a few months now, and
okay.
he's a dick now. He punched me in the face yesterday. I don't mean scratched, I mean punched. Hurled his paw and punched me in the fucking
He
face.
called his spawn.
Well, it was more
Are
like
you
a
sure
haymaker
that
type.
the one that is not getting high is you and you think that your cat is hitting you?
No, like the little bastard's like all super thick and muscular now. Like he's on the gas, man. He's
I mean, he's taking steroids. He's like, when you're leaving for work, he goes on the first
I mean he's
carrying
literally
tuna cans tied to a, a little the broom stick, and he's like,
well no,
I
he's very aggressive now because he like
he's in steroids.
he's always kind of bullied the dog, but now he like corners her.
I got a
Uh,
lot of friends and girlfriends, not girlfriends of relationships, like friends that they're girls, that they
yeah.
have relationship with guys that take steroids and they become aggressive too.
Oh
Freaking out,
yeah,
it's,
no,
it's, it's coming.
he's like an abusive boyfriend, seriously though, because like he'll hit me, and then later he'll just come
Or
and
an
lay
abusive
next to me.
girlfriend.
Well,
Or an
he's a
abusive
boy.
girlfriend.
Well, he's a
Well, but
boy, so
I
yeah.
mean, please be equal. They want equality. I know abusive girlfriends.
Okay,
Not in my
fair.
case.
Yeah, he is smaller
I'm
than
just
me.
saying. Oh yeah, I know girls that are smaller than me and they're abusive.
Yeah, I know.
Not to me.
I was
I have
married to
I
one.
have good luck with that. There you go.
I was.
Anyway, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but
So
anyway, that
back
is
to
a
Indiana Jones.
similarity because they're both strong-willed, they're both tough, and they both hit him at one point, more than
They're
once
really
maybe.
similar. I if they, it will be awesome to if they put Fisher, Carrie Fisher, right, as
Mhm.
Mariam, but of course it will be too much,
I don't
right?
know. And I forget the actress's name. I think she's good as Marion. I liked her. I wouldn't have changed a thing.
let me tell you something. You know
Let me
how
tell
I
you
feel about
something.
Princess Leia. Let me tell you something.
Let me
Let me
tell
tell
you
you something.
something.
Let me tell you something. I don't like Princess Leia. It's all we established
Yeah,
here.
I know. You think she's a
And
murderer.
I do not. Listen to me. I prefer to go out on a date with Leah than actually with Mario. I think that that's
Why?
Leah on steroids.
You know that the actress is a
She's
natural
super
blonde,
bush.
right?
Yeah, yeah. She's super bossy. I love strong-headed. I love strong women, but when they're bossy, bro, it's like, come on.
You know why she's bossy though?
Because she was trained by a
No,
guy that trained Indiana Jones.
because she's had to be. Because I forget, do they say in the movie when her father died? But she
Yeah.
was young, because
The,
she's young in the movie. Like she's not like a minor young, but she's young,
no, she's probably
early
28,
20.
30.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say mid to late 20s tops. Because Indy,
Yeah,
so
maybe.
well, no, let's think about this. How old is
No,
Indiana
Indy's
Jones?
40.
Indy's 40
It
in Raiders
is
of the Lost Ark.
38 in the Doom and 40 in the Lost Ark because I'm already a professor in the university.
Okay, and they say that when Indiana Jones was in graduate school, Marion was 15. So that would have made Indy at least 24, if not a little bit older.
I mean, you gotta take it. Indiana Jones had something for younger girls,
No, no,
like
that's
Han Solo.
I'm trying to do the math. So yeah, it
You know
depends
my
on how
fingers.
it depends. No, I don't know how old Indy is. So if Indiana Jones is 40, and then it depends on when he met how old he was when he met Marion. Was
She
it
was like 25, 26.
okay? That's what I thought. Yeah. So there's a 10 to 11 year age gap. So Marion is in Raider. She's between 28 and 30. Yeah, just like you said. I think she's younger, dude. She doesn't strike
Maybe, I
me.
don't think
Yeah,
so.
but she's younger than Indy. We know that.
Oh, totally. And if you realize in Temple of Doom, now, the girl in Temple of Doom, whoo, I love her.
Oh, she's the
She's an
worst.
actress. She's funny.
She's
She's
the worst.
scared. She's super hot. I like the hair
Marion
like that.
Marion's way hotter than Willie, dude.
What are you talking about? The
Marion
only
is
thing about Willie
way
is the name
hotter.
Willie. No,
Yeah,
she's
she's
an
got a Willie.
actress.
So,
They're
and
nice.
and Marion's a bar owning treasure hunter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we can agree they're both better than Elsa.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Elsa was a surprise.
I always imagine in my head, you know who Stephen Lynch is, right? I assume you do.
Yes,
The music.
yes, you assume well.
So I always want to, when Indy finds out that Elsa's a Nazi, I always want Stephen Lynch to come in and be like, "I think you're a Nazi, babe."
That's not the worst that she's a Nazi. She already seduced the dad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah,
I
that's
know, but dude, she already had sex with the dad. Now she's having sex with the son, and she's a Nazi, and she's the hotter of everyone
she's
in the
the
whole movie.
worst, but she's the absolute worst. I love. She talks in her
She's the
sleep.
hottest, but she's the
She's
hottest.
not, man. Marion's the hottest.
No, bro, no, come on,
Marion's
well,
way
who I'm talking to, small brunettes.
okay.
No, bro.
I know that's my deal.
I know blonde actresses, tall artists, they're my thing.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know why we're arguing. But we can all agree they're all hotter than Russian Kate Blanchett.
Russian can bring. Oh yeah,
Russian Kate Blanchett. Kate
yeah,
Blanchett's a
yeah,
beautiful woman, but the
yeah.
Black Bob does
The
not suit
character
her.
is annoying. The character is annoying. The character is annoying. So, you haven't seen the last one, right?
No, I want to. I just haven't. I'm
But
intrigued by
do
it.
you, what?
I'm intrigued by it because
Oh,
everybody said
intrigued
it
by it. I
sucked.
thought you say, I think I should buy it. I go like, dude, just
No,
watch
it's
it in
on
one
Disney Plus
in
for free.
Disney Plus. Yeah. I think you should put it right now, and we should watch it and react to it. Just put it backwards.
Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's some bitch.
That's yeah, no, but it's not a bad movie. It has a lot of hiccups, has a lot of bad things, but if you think that is the last dream from Han Solo, makes more sense because it's a lot of. I'm not talking about traveling in time. I'm not talking about that's pretty cool, and I see a lot of homage to all the movies from Steven Spielberg that they never went to that next level. I mean, I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it, but
I got it. I got
you
it.
got okay.
Han Solo.
So,
Han Solo's running from the Empire. This doesn't make sense. Well, we're gonna pretend like the new trilogy doesn't exist because it's dog shit.
oh yeah, of
So
course.
Han Solo's running from remnants of the new Empire. He's got to tell the rebellion, but they're gaining on him. They're gaining on him. All of a sudden, out in the distance, a brilliant flash of light, a DeLorean, is through space.
Yeah, it's exactly how it
It
happened.
it lands
Shit,
on top of the hatch. The Falcon. Doc Brown comes in on the
Doc,
Millennium Falcon.
Doc, is that Han?
No, we got to get out of here, Chewie. I have an idea. They put the flux capacitor. We're going to travel back in time to before they even caught you. But right as Doc is putting in the coordinates, right, and we know the Millennium Falcon's going faster than 88 miles an hour, so they're already there. Doc just has to put in the coordinates. Right as he's putting in the date, right, the TIE fighter shoots the Falcon. It penetrates the shields and it knocks the ship, changing it to far, far in the distant, distant future to the 19th century of our time.
You know what, Jake? I think we should drop everything that we do, and you need to move to LA and start doing scripts. Why? Because fans will love you.
Well, there's a problem though, because the DeLorean travels through time, not space, so they would still be in the same galaxy. But we can figure that out.
Let me tell you something. You gotta rephrase that.
It interfaces with the
DeLorean,
hyperdrive.
DeLoreans haven't traveled in space yet. Because if we go to the future, we change it for a DeLorean that actually can come back and it travels now. If we're already in the future, why are we using a DeLorean? Let's make the Millennium Falcon a time machine.
That's what he did though, because he integrates it with the hyperdrive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's how you
But
travel
I
through
mean the
space and
whole,
time. It's the perfect time machine. You can travel through space and time.
and it's drive by your pet. You don't pay them salary. You pay them in dog food. Ah,
Snarf.
yeah. As you can people see, we have a lot of fun in this podcast. Gotta tell you something. I got a notification. Our guest is not gonna be able to make it. Let me tell you why, and I don't think it's gonna have a problem, right?
That's okay, because we're actually more on a roll than I thought we would be. And we'll still shout out Valaina because it's in the description. Go check them out. Music is the album's good. Like there's not a song I disliked that I heard on it. But Cut Me to the Quick is
What is
my
your
personal
favorite
favorite.
song of Valaina of the album?
I gotta say Cut Me to the Quick. Because I
No,
like
she
okay,
told me that she's giving a lot of interviews because she just released an album today.
yeah,
It was our guest, but of course she's doing her job. He's gonna try to pop in, say hi to the fans because we announced it. But she's gonna try between other interviews, so
sure.
that's totally cool.
Yeah.
So Cut Me to the Quick is your favorite.
Yeah. And that so I like rock music in general, but like as far as my favorites go, there's a very specific feel. I like really not necessarily stuff I like stuff that's really heavy and melodic, like very in your face, which makes sense because if you know my take, like from Again and Forever, Kamikaze is my favorite song. I like a bunch of the songs, but Kamikaze is my favorite. Got Me to the Quick. They're
And you know
not
it's funny because Kamikaze is Kamikaze, and Kamikaze is like cut me to the quick. No, that's funny.
That's interesting. Okay, so we're gonna play a little game here. Holy shit.
Match the songs.
My I'm not gonna say my favorite overall, but one of my absolute favorite Disturbed songs is The Night, and the riff is
You see, maybe yeah. It's everything is programming when we were kids. Let me go back to something. You know what my favorite song is? Remedy. That's my favorite song.
Oh, that's good.
The
Yeah.
melody, I need an antidote, a remedy. That melody, and I never heard in my mind a song that says antidote.
Hmm.
And I like that.
Have you? I'm sure you've heard of them. I don't know if it's Eva or Eva Under Fire. I think it's Eva Under Fire.
Now,
Uh, oh, listen to their song Heroin. I mean, they have good ones, but that's my favorite song of theirs. And now I don't think it's the same beat though. Oh, Jesus, it is.
yeah, you like melodic in D minor. Sorry, bro.
I'm not your heroine.
Yeah, you see? I don't know. Maybe you like Disney with hardcore. A
What's
whole new world. Dun,
I
dun, dun,
love
dun,
that
dun, dun,
song.
dun,
Actually, I love the metal version of that song.
dun, 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 dun.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Oh, let me tell you that today I was recording. Okay, I got a question to ask you and to the audience. If,
It's
Rachel
Rachel.
actually just joined. Hey,
We were
Rachel, welcome. How
we were
are
Hi,
nerd
you?
we were
I have a
nerd
name tag too.
yeah, we were nerding out on music. Virus just identified why I like the songs that I like.
Oh,
Just like melodies in D minor with the same, with the waltz, you know.
And now
But
my brain
anyway,
is exploded.
I was just telling the people that we're really thankful that you're here because you've been releasing an album today and you're full of interviews one after another. So we're really thankful that you're here. Here, welcome, Rachel. How you feeling? New album.
oh my goodness. It's so surreal. It's been a roller coaster of emotions today, but like really, really good. And a big sigh of relief and yeah, it's amazing. I
And
haven't even like kept up with things, but last I knew we were number 8 on the iTunes charts and it's
congratulations.
just crazy. Like I did not ever expect that, and yeah. Anyway, I don't
Congrats. So for the people that don't know, Valaina is their first long play LP, and it started in number 8 in iTunes. It's huge, people. The last time that we checked before we start the podcast, we were talking to the audience, Rachel, telling that there were 9, and there's a Metallica single underneath you, right? That's a Metallica thing, and that's crazy that now you're going to number 8. Congratulations, you deserve it. Jay, gotta ask you if you can relaunch "Cut Me to the Quick" as the first single of the LP because that's his favorite song.
Please.
know. Okay.
No,
Sure.
it's funny though because I'm kind of weird when it comes to music. There are bands that I like, don't get me wrong, but generally speaking, there's tons of examples where I like one song from an artist and it just I know it as soon as I hear it. But now I think thanks to Virus, I think I know why now.
It
So
is
if
fun.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I think it is funny. I know exactly what you're talking about. There are some songs where I cannot describe. I'm like, I don't know what it is about this song, but I love it. And I will listen. I overkill. So if I love something, I will listen a million times in a row and kill it, and then bring it back from the dead, and then do it again and kill it again. But I'm trying to analyze in my brain and figure out why. And I don't know what you guys talked about, but I do think that it has a lot to do with like frequencies and the chord changes because if you're especially when I write, I like to borrow chords a lot. And if you change from like it's an unexpected thing, so it creates kind of dissonance from like a major to a minor chord, and then go to a major chord after the minor chord. It's like this tension and then this release, and you're like, ah, that's like it just like hits you in the gut or something. I don't know if that makes
So
sense.
let me tap in the I don't know that "Cut Me to the Quick" is in 3/4 or in 4/4. It's in 3/4, right?
I don't know about that one. I know that the only one that I do know is that Remedy starts in 7/8 and then goes to 4/4.
For the people that don't know what we're talking about, thank you. Jake was looking at me. That's the time measurement or the song in the genre that Belen and again for we play. We do that a lot. We change tempos. We do a lot of crazy things that are not normal in pop or electronic music, and that's what I like this love this genre. And I was saying that, Rachel, my favorite song in the album is Remedy. I mean, don't take me wrong, I love every song in the album so far.
Yeah.
I was had the chance to listen to it because of the record label before, and I listened to it 4 times in a row, and I love it. Then I rested, and then yesterday we were invited to the private party that you have with your fans, and I listened to it again, and I love it. Everyone is 9.8, but Remedy is 10 for me. I gotta admit that. But we are really grateful that you're here. We're really care for your success because we
Yeah.
know you from before. You were our first guest of the first season, if I'm correct, Jake.
That sounds
Yeah,
right. Pretty sure.
uh,
Well, of
and
the
we
first
see
season or the second season?
no, this is the second season, Jake.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she was in the
So
first season.
It was sometime it was probably early fall last year.
I think she
Yeah.
was second. Alexander was our first guest.
Yeah, but that's not a guest, bro.
That's
She's
true.
an
That's
artist.
true. That's
Alexander
true. That's true. That's
is
true.
a friend that comes and talks. He's not an
That
artist.
that's fair.
Let
Yeah.
me rephrase that. Our first artist, guest artist, was Rachel from Valaina. And in
Yes,
that
that
time,
is true.
you have, and the band was Valentina and you, correct? You
Yeah.
want to tell the fans what happened? Now you have new members, right? To make it better.
Yeah, I'm excited. We just finished auditioning our bass player like 2 weeks ago, and he joined the band. And he's super, his name's Hunter. He lives locally, so that helps. And I've known him for a long time. He is the reason why I make impulse purchases at Guitar Center. So I try to avoid his shifts because he's always like, "Hey, did you know there's some snares on sale?" I'm like, "Really?" So I always walk out and I'm like, what had happened was, no, I don't, it's, yeah, I have a problem. It's okay. Uh,
Uh,
but that's how I met him during the pandemic is when I was like going there. So we didn't even recognize each other after like we stopped wearing our masks. We're like, is that you? Because that's
that is
what we
funny.
met. It was really funny. And I tried to get him to join the band as the drummer because that was his main instrument. And then he started listening to more of our music, started really digging it. He was always like, "No, like I'm a session player." I'm like, "Okay, okay, okay." He started hearing more and more of our music, and he's like, "Hey, you know I play bass, right?" And I was like, "Okay, we'll see, we'll see."
Now was your time to say, you know what? You need to prove yourself.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
exactly. So he had less than a week, and he nailed it. Two songs, and we didn't tell him what key they were in. We didn't tell him anything, and he picked it up, he played it, and it was fabulous. So we were
That yeah.
more than happy to welcome him in, and then our drummer, his I don't know, screen name or username or whatever is Animal, Animal on drums, and I've been friends with him for through TikTok. It's funny, meet a lot of people through TikTok. That's how V and I met. But
You
yeah,
met everyone in your life on TikTok, but your personal family, right? That's cool. We
it,
met in TikTok, and that's how we invite you. And actually, Jake met me on TikTok as well.
really,
Hmm.
Yeah, he was interviewing my band, and it was a great interview. And then one day, I'm like, I want to make a podcast, but I don't have the experience. So I'm gonna call the guy that I like how he interviewed me because he was a really smart guy. And I remember I told him, and I'm sharing this with you and with the audience.
It's a funny
I
story.
told him I told him, hey, I want to make a podcast. You want to join me? And he thought I was inviting him to be a guest in my podcast, right? And I'm like, no, 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 no. You're gonna be my co-host. And look at us now,
get
right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah, season two, and going strong. Talking about Han Solo and Indiana Jones today, but let's go back to your album, Rachel. Number 8 is amazing. What is next for Valaina? In the steps of what's gonna happen. Of course, you're gonna tour at the end of the year. You were mentioning yesterday.
That's definitely the goal. That's definitely the goal is to get tour by the end of the year sometime.
That's
Somehow.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Our goal really is to just really solidify our family as a band, to really gel together and work together well, perform together as much as we can. We're going to try and get Animal out here so we can do more practices live together and start, who knows, play shows, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's like the world is our oyster. Is that the right way to use that expression?
That's the way to use it
I,
right, really well.
I just feel like this is just the beginning of who knows what. Because everyone who ever told me that I couldn't do it, I started saying, okay, watch me. And now, like, finally, the album is here. And we worked on it for over maybe a year and a half. And it kept getting pushed back, kept getting pushed back. But it's so amazing. Like, today, I feel like today is definitely the day that it was meant to release.
Yeah, you want to share that with the audience? Why today?
Yeah, so a lot of my message, and I'm an open book. I'm really an open book. And I think that I should not still be here on this earth. But I am, and I'm very grateful for that. I lost my sister 5 years ago today, to her addiction, and um, and that really woke me up in the sense of if I didn't quit. I also lost my aunt, my mom's sister, to her addiction a few years back before that, and if I didn't stop and get help, then I was gonna lose my life. And I almost did a few times. It was an inpatient detox, stuff like that. And it just really was like my life was just out of control. I wasn't feeling anything. And the fact that it released today, 5 years after she passed away, it's kind of my tribute to her, my nod to her, to say, if I can if I can be vulnerable and open up and share these difficult stories, the ugly parts of my past, that it's okay if people want to judge me for it. I don't care, because the beautiful part of it is that the expression, I think there's beauty in ashes, just like a phoenix rises, right? And I went through that. I went through those trials, and I'm not afraid to share and talk about it because I want people to feel like they're not alone, like they have a space, and like they have a voice even if they're not ready to use it. I want our music to be that for them. And the amount of like comments and text messages that I've gotten today are overwhelming. It's a lot, but it just solidifies in my heart, this is what I'm meant to do. And this is only the beginning, and I can't wait. I'm getting emotional, but it's like, and for okay, another just weird thing is that she passed away when she was 39 years old on a Tuesday, 5 years ago. Today's a Tuesday. The album's running length is 39 minutes and 38 seconds. It just, it's crazy. Like, I feel like it all just, today was the day it was supposed to happen.
First of all, we're sorry about your sister. We know the story. I'm really grateful that you're sharing it with us and with our audience. But I think that transforming sad memory into a good tribute is something really important for human evolution. I mean, it's not a secret that I was addicted to a lot of things when I'm in my third tour. So every time I listen to Remedy, it becomes a homage, right? That we can move forward, and at the same time an homage for the ones that they couldn't,
Yeah.
right? So they're never forgotten. So I'm really grateful for you to be in the show. I'm really grateful for your album. We consider you a friend, a family for Toon Talk 2.0 and from Already Media. And of course, you're part of the record label that everybody here is involved. So we really appreciate that. Um, we congratulate you. I know that you're super busy because she texts me, audience, tell me if I'm late. I go like, no, you can just pop in. Say no. You are doing a lot of interviews. Thank you for taking the time, Rachel.
Thank you.
Please, everyone, listen to Valaina new album, Save It From Myself, correct? And it's
Yes.
an amazing 10 songs album. Go and buy it on iTunes. Don't be cheap. Go and buy it, right? We need to support our artists, right? And my expensive kind of life. So please buy it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rachel. I know you have to run,
Yes,
but
yes, thank
thank you
you.
for being
Yeah,
here.
thank you for coming on.
Thanks for letting me hop in
And
and
thank
just
you
say
for the album because it's incredible.
And let me say something before you leave. Number 8 on iTunes in the day of their release.
Number 8 on
Suck it up, pop
iTunes.
music. We get it here.
it's just right.
Congratulations, Rachel.
It's so crazy. Yeah. Okay. Thank you
Have
guys
a
so
good
much.
one. Thank you so much for popping by. Bye.
Bye.
Isn't that crazy, Jake?
It's insane. That's awesome, though.
It's insane. I mean, I love that because we're gonna go into a little. I don't know if you had the chance to listen to the Bad Omens.
I feel
Bad
like I've heard
Omens,
of them before.
Bad Omens are really big band. They're good. Don't take me wrong. But in a personal taste, this is totally. I want a warning here. This is Virus Vox. I'm listening to The Weeknd that they bring his hardcore friends to play in little parts of the songs. And The Weeknd finally realized that he can scream, not just sing like Michael Jackson. And that's number 1 in the charts lately. And I understand that for the fans of Bad Omens, they're gonna hate me, but I'm not attacking Bad Omen itself. I'm attacking the industry. Finally, the rock is coming back. And then they make an icon, a band that plays pop, but in the chorus use overdrive and distortion. And in the bridges they scream. And that's not cool, people. There's bands like Valaina. There's other bands. Forget about the bands of our label. Forget about bands of our friends. They're bands that they've been playing gent music, metalcore, hardcore, like Shinedown. Shinedown is an amazing band.
Shinedown's
They
very
don't
good.
scream. It's really good, and they don't get. They're kings of their market, but they're not kings of the world that they're supposed to be. Because always the industry want the. So, but okay, everyone got their taste. I love Bad Omens. I love Bad Omens previews. They sound like a new version of Bullet for My Valentine. Power, raw, feeling. And now the new album is selling crazy. Of course, because
Yeah.
attacking the pop and the rock.
See, yeah, my
But the industry.
yeah, my co-host Eric to this day can't believe that I'm not obsessed with Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
because to me it's exactly like you described. It sounds too poppy. Like, yeah, I get it. They scream, but it to me it just sounds way too I don't
commercial.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for because it seems like okay, we need a checklist of everything that the people want.
And
Particular
that's good. Don't take me wrong. The
Yeah, well,
cover
but
that
that's
they
why
did
they're
from Papa
popular.
Brunch,
Yeah.
yeah, that the song that is really good. I don't understand, to be honest with you, how the hell they got 60 million views. I don't get it, but congratulations. Their videos are cool. I get it that.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, fair enough.
Their other destroying the world, I think, is taking on the world.
Well, but to me, they just seem like and again, I don't mean
That's
this to spare.
Eminem.
Yeah.
That's Eminem with metal,
Well, so
and I
it's
love
Linkin
it.
Park.
No, let me tell you something about Linkin Park. Linkin Park, they have a singer and a hip hop artist.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it is two different people.
So
Yeah.
that difference separates the even you see the guy from Linkin Park that he just released an album. He's really good musician. He was dressed always as a hip hop artist. He
Yeah.
portrayed
Oh,
himself.
and they've got a new vocalist, don't they? Or they're
I hear
yeah.
about that. It's not confirmed.
Yeah,
Not that I know.
I hope so. Because man, I
Nah,
no, dude, in case you're I like I get it. It's not the same Linkin Park, but
it's not about that. Chester was one of the iconic singers
I
of
I
an
get it.
era.
I get it. I get it. And it's kind
And
of like okay,
sometimes you just need to,
but
like,
okay, think about it this way though, because so actually I never really hated it. So like, but Queen's one of my favorite bands of all time. You're never gonna replace Freddie Mercury. You're not. But
Adam Lambert is really close.
I was gonna say, but Adam Lambert's doing a pretty fucking good job. But it's different.
Yes, but Adam Lambert has a career, and
Sure,
is Queen featuring Adam Lambert.
sure, and I get it. I get it. But
But
at the
it's like
same time,
somebody brings a new Kurt Cobain to Nirvana, bro. That's tough because he was an icon of a generation. New metal, Chester dying
yeah.
became the icon of a generation. So that's different. Queen, it was huge, but Queen actually become more famous
Hmm.
after he passed.
That's true. Yeah,
So that's a different. But again, that's my industry thinking. Don't take me wrong.
that's fair. But I
Chester.
guess I guess the point I'm making though is I would rather have different Queen than no Queen at all.
Okay, yeah, if you want to do that, but there's something I want to share with you because I know the audience know, but I want to share this with you. There's something that calls iTunes and Spotify that you can still listen to them.
I know, I know, I know.
I know the live shows are cool.
That's what
Let
it
me tell
really
you
comes
something
down
about
to.
Linkin Park. Yeah, let me tell you something about Linkin Park, if you allow me to, if you will. Linkin Park was called, I think, before it was called Linkin Park was X something, and it was Yoshida with all the same guys, and they have a record deal. And then they have a second album, and they were there, middle level. And then they make a casting because some producer of the new label that signed them, because they signed them on a deal with many bands. So you know what? You're good. You're missing something.
Hmm.
Why don't you bring a singer? I have a couple here, and he showed them the demo from Chester. And this is fantastic. I hope that it's not a myth. I hope it's not a lie because it's pretty cool for the fans,
No,
including myself.
I feel like I've heard this story. Yeah, so
This is the part that I mean. Hopefully, it's not a lie. They say that four guys were called, and Chester asked for money, drove, sleep in the car, right? And he jumped from the car to the studio. And they say, "Who's first?" And he's like, "Me." And he went in and sang the songs, and the other three left. They were like, "Ah," I said, "Let the fuck out of here," because that guy was struggling, man. He was a
I
real
can
artist.
I could believe it.
You got to
One of my
understand that.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying one of my favorite stories is David Draymond talking about because same this happens way more often than people would believe. You have an existing band that is already signed, right? May or may not be already signed, but they've got an established band, and but there's something missing or somebody leaves, and then they have to fill in the gap. And David Draymond, you can look it up on YouTube because I'm probably missing some examples, but David Draymond talks about when he auditioned, they were doing covers for the auditions, and then he went in and he was just like, I don't know, let's play some of your stuff, you know. And they said, but you don't like you don't know the words. He's like, ah, just start playing, and I'll follow along as best I can. And apparently the sim like not the sim the synergy they had was almost instantaneous, and I've heard them talk about it several times. But then the other story I love is after the sickness is released and starts getting radio play, David Draymond talks about being in his car and hearing Stupefy on the radio and talking about what a surreal moment that was. And I think that's for any artist, that's got to be pretty fucking cool. You're peeing, aren't you?
That would be amazing, bro. Sorry for the audience that I disappeared from the screen. Yes, I need to go and take a pee. I drink all this, so stay with me. I was listening to you, though. I love
Oh,
these headphones.
I know. Yeah.
So let me tell you a story. For the people in Latin America and Europe, mostly in Spain, there's a huge band that it will be like the Iron Maiden for Latin America called Angels, Hell's Angels, but in
Okay.
Spanish, Ángeles del Infierno. So the manager, Danny, hi Danny, he's a dear friend of mine, right? And his drummer is even a dearest friend of mine, right? So the name of the drummer is Robocop. And I'm talking about like Iron Maiden, similar. We're talking about millions and millions of records and millions. So they kick their drummer, okay? And they're touring in Mexico. So they need a drummer on the spot. And this is a great story because Robocop told me the story. And he's such a humble guy, man. As he told you the story, even laughing. So he was a fan of Ángeles del Infierno, Hell's Angels. He was a fan, like those true fans. And a friend of him, a drummer, called him and said, "Hey, they're gonna hire me to be the next drummer." And he's like, "Awesome, right? Congratulations." But they want to make a casting. Will you mind coming and play? So I just bring other people to the casting so I don't look bad. And the guy's like, "Yes, if you promise me that they will sign my albums." It's like, man, I don't know. It's like, I will go. I will go, but promise me they will sign my albums. Yeah, but I need you to learn the songs. I don't want you to look bad, right? I mean, I want you to look bad, but no so bad because I'm gonna get the job. So this guy, whoever that was, bring other three drummers with the promise of get autographs and pictures. Two nights before, RoboCop, that he's a drummer, he he told me my hands were bleeding. He rehearsed. I say stop to the bathroom and eat, and go back. And when he came, the guy that's supposed to be the drummer goes and plays. Right? I was like, good, good, good. What are you gonna play? Well, play this one, right? The other. And at the end, he's like this because RoboCop used to wear polo shirts, glasses, curly hair, totally nerdy dude, right? If you think I got a Star Wars collection, that guy has the second biggest Star Wars collection in Latin America. I'm gonna ask him for some videos so you see it. Oh, I mean toys and figurines and everything. Uh so he goes and they say, "Hey, can I play?" And they say, "No, no, no, we just got this one." He's like, "No." He stand up and say, "Don't. I want my autograph and I want to play. I want to play with my heroes." Yeah, but we're gonna say, "Just let me play with you guys." And the guitar player say in Spanish from Spain, right? Come on, just let him sing, right? And they ask him this, and this is epic. This story is epic, Jake. Are you ready? They ask him, "Why do you want to play?" Because their biggest success is "Shadows in the Darkness." That will be the translation. "Sombras en la oscuridad." And
Sounds
and
so
the
much
guy
cooler in
says,
Spanish.
"I know." Uh, and the guy says, "You want the live version or the version that connects with the other one, RoboCop?" And the guitar player is like, "Really? No. Play me Damn Your Name." That's the name. Maldito sea tu nombre, right? That song is like hard to play. And he's like, "Sure, the live version or the studio version?" This guy says like, "What the fuck with this out of shape, bad looking," right? And because he tells the story so humble. I mean, now he's full of tattoos and living the rockstar right life. So they say the live version, and he played it, and then he did the exactly field to connect one song to the other, and they keep playing, right? Uh, and they play like for 5, 6 songs, and they stop, and he says that he listened to the guy saying, "Man, he looks too Mexican. He's too brown. He's not." He's saying, "But he's not good looking." And the singer's like, "We can put a wig or a hat." And he's in the back. He's like, "I just want my autographs and get the fuck out of here. Never met your heroes. I'll never meet your heroes, right?" And they say, "You know what? We're just gonna give you the job." And he's like, "What?" And he's so humble and nice that he says, "Just in case you're fucking around with me, can I get my picture and my autographs?" So the day that he signed the contract, the guy signed his albums as well, bro. He's been
Nice.
playing 20 years with the band. That's a really good story, bro.
Believe it or not, I know a similar one. And so I found this was wild. My mind literally exploded. So it's a contractor. Yeah, he's a friend because we met through my business, but we became we bonded over Alabama football. But like last time I saw him in person, he was working on a big project, and he just casually mentioned that he played bass for Johnny Cash for 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, you can't, you got to tell me how this happened, right? He's like, well, and like, the guy's great. He's so down to earth. But he's like, well, I just graduated from the University of Alabama with a degree in business. And he's like, and I was, uh, what did he say? It's not a cattle drive, but he was basically like herding cattle. That's what he was doing. I'm like, in Alabama? He said, yeah. I'm like, okay. Didn't know they had ranches in Alabama, but you learn something new every day, right? And he was like, and my sister called me. He said, my sister was,
That he was dating.
no,
Okay.
no. His sister was a manager. Yeah, she was a manager for a record label, and it just so happened to be the record label that Johnny Cash was signed to. And she just so happened to be Johnny Cash's manager. And she said, hey, um, I'm in a pinch. I need you. Can you come to Nashville tonight and play bass on some studio tracks. And he said, yeah, sure. He's like, of course, I'm going to help my sister. He said, so, but she didn't say who it was for, right? So he said, I hopped in my truck, drove to Nashville with my bass, went in the studio. And he's like, I immediately went in because he said, I wanted to drive back that night because I had to work the next day. So blah, blah, blah. He's like, I went right in and was just laying down the tracks. He's like, and then when I come out, he said, we recorded 2 songs, right? He said, I come out and there's Johnny Cash. And
Wow.
and it was a very similar story. He's like, oh, can I, it's just such a pleasure to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, he signed something for me, blah, blah, blah. And he said, and I started to leave, right? He said, I was getting my stuff together. And my sister came in and said, Johnny really liked what you did. He wanted to know if you wanted to go on tour with him. And he said, and he said, God, well, for how long? Because he's like, I still had a job. And she was like, well, at the very least for the rest of the tour, which is another couple of months, right? He played for Johnny for 7 or 8 years. I can't remember what he said. And
Wow.
I told he's going to be on my podcast at some point when he has time. But I'm like, you can't not tell me that story, right?
That's fantastic, man. That's a great story, man.
That's fucking insane. I looked his name up too to make sure he wasn't pulling my leg. Nope, it's right there. It's in.
I
He did
invite
it.
all the Latinos guys to look into Ángeles del Infierno, and now they're called ADI. You can Instagram ADI. You can look at it. I mean, if you like Iron Maiden and old school metal, now obviously I became friends with the guitar player Foley, right? Foley is 6'6", man. You know how hard it is to be with a 6'6" guy? The singer of ADI, he's, I don't know, man, 60, and he still hit the high notes like like exactly like Iron Maiden, man. It's really cool, man. Hey, that's great story. So we couldn't finish talking about Indiana, but we had a great podcast. It was really fun.
We did. So basically, if you want us to continue that, just let us know in the comments. That's all you got to do.
And
We are your personal talking whores. We will talk about whatever you want. You just got to tell us.
we got your personal relationship. You don't need to pay us. We're not horses.
Okay,
You pay
fine.
us with likes.
We're your verbal sluts.
There you go. So yeah, I'll say verbal, not oral, because that could
I
create
said
something.
verbal. I said verbal.
Okay. So and let us know if you think that Indiana Jones is just Han Solo's dreaming in carbonite. And Jake, recommendations.
All right. So
Shotgun, Indiana Jones 1, 2, 3.
do what?
I say
What's
dips on Indiana Jones 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you know what's funny? Because as people know, I try to keep with the theme, but Indiana Jones would be too easy. We've talked about them. So I actually came up with all my recommendations like 5 minutes ago because I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? So my movie recommendation. So they're all in the spirit of Indiana Jones, shall we say, save for the musical one, but there's a reason for that. My movie recommendation, character very similar to Indiana Jones, both in character and even time period and occupation. Um, the movie was never really underrated, but it's still remained a kind of a cult classic to this day, beloved by its fans, and the actor has had a bit of a resurgence. I am, of course, talking about that classic adventure story, The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser
Yeah,
and oh
that's
God, what's
cool.
her name? Rachel Weisz. Rachel Weisz.
Rachel, she was so hot. I don't know what happened to her.
Dude, Brendan Fraser was, I mean, he was on top of the world back at that time.
I know. I like his hair, but I like Rachel Weisz
Yeah, yeah,
way more.
I know. I'm just saying. And you know what? That movie really doesn't get cut up because I mean, yeah, the CG is kind of even at the time it was a little hokey, but at
Really, I like it.
but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't. It's
Correct me
weird.
if I'm wrong. That the Rock was there, right? Or was the second one the Rock?
That's the end of the second one. Yeah. So
Okay, yeah.
the first one's all Imhotep. But here's the thing about it. So even though the CGI, especially by today's standards, is somewhat dated, although the sand still looks pretty good. I'm talking about some of the more like the I don't know what you call them, the pools of the dead and the scarabs and all that. Like it's not awful, so it's not enough to take you out of it. But at the same time, the movie it's I don't know how to describe it because I don't like movies that don't that make it into a joke, but it's also kind of fun when a movie doesn't take itself too seriously, where it's like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter, like you understand what's going on, and it's just a fun movie. It's just you know why you're there, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And Brendan Fraser, Rachel, the entire cast just deliver on every.
The brother-in-law. I mean, Rachel, he's
He's
so
hilarious.
funny, dude.
Which I'm just oh, I know where I know that fucker from. The last time I watched it, I was like, I know that guy. He's Batiatus from in Spartacus. Same actor. That's where I knew that fucker from.
Oh wow,
I
I
just that
totally
just hit
forgot
me.
about that.
Yeah, that just hit me.
Well, you learn something. You remember something thanks to Toon Talk.
The House of Batiatus.
So, movies. I need to highly recommend. Doesn't you know me? I will just gonna say whatever. It doesn't have to be anything. Of course, Indiana Jones 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and uh, and Disney that's implied. But I remember a movie that I really that I just remember. I'm gonna put together movie and weird. Okay, The Sunrise of the Sasquatch. Listen to this. Do you remember Caveman from Ringo Starr from the 70s? Did you
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Imagine that, but in the present day, but with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
It's a mockumentary about Sasquatch that you really gotta watch. It's in the movies in selective places. It's a movie with real good actors, right? But they're characterized as Sasquatch. It's a comedy. It's a feeling comedy. Like I said, a mockumentary. I was gonna say another one, but this one popped into my mind. Something that you need to watch. That the Sunrise of the Sasquatch. Go ahead. Next one, your TV show.
So this one falls in it's a very Indiana Jones-esque story, but it also combines Jackie Chan, which two awesome things come together to make something even more awesome. This was a show from when I was not a super young kid, but I was younger, Jackie Chan Adventures. And it is
Oh, well, I
a
remember.
it
But
was
it's
a
a cartoon,
really
right?
yeah, it was an animated series. It was a really good show though, and so it was the best of both worlds because it was somewhat episodic, but it followed a long-term. So you simultaneously had a narrative through line, which I like. Even when I was young, I liked this, but you still had a feel of kind of like monster or bad guy of the week, and they were able to do it really well. And they had a lot of really cool characters. The concept was cool. You and so basically the first season, then it goes into other realms. But the first season, which I think is the best one, is they're trying to retrieve these 12 talismans, all represented by an animal of the Chinese zodiac. And when you hold the talisman, you get a power that is similar, and you get some really, really interesting characters, such as the Mexican wrestler El Toro Fuerte, who became a very, very uh, staunch ally of Jackie Chan and the gang. And who can forget Uncle? We quoted Uncle, my friend group. Thing.
That's
Oh,
funny.
and we got Justin. Fun fact: the guy who plays Jackie Chan on that show still professionally voice matches Jackie Chan to this day. I can see it. Because yeah, if you don't
Yeah.
know any better, he does a very good job. But it's a good
I
show. It's
thought
a
it
really
was
good show.
him. I thought it was him.
I did too when it first aired, and then you find out, and then
I just
he
did.
he plays Monkey on the various Kung Fu Panda shows. Oh, okay,
Hmm.
same voice actor. But yeah, highly recommend. I just figured it out, so I didn't look up where you can watch it, but Google it. Google's free. Get off your ass.
Now, I got a problem because you were. I got an idea what show recommend,
They
and
make a
you
shot
fucked
for
it
me.
up. You make again saying something so my mind get ignited because I got a bonus one. So I'm gonna recommend uh, the new show in Apple TV called Sugar. It's a detective show, but it's like he's narrating everything like it's a 60s right show, but it's in the present time. What is the name of the actor, the lead actor? It totally went off my mind. The guy that did Alexander the Great,
Oh,
Irish
Colin
guy.
Farrell.
Yeah, so he's Sugar. That's the name of the guy. So get a little comedy, not too much, but it got a little. It's a good construct character, but it's like you want it to be in the 60s, 50s, right? Because the way he talks and the kind of shots and the kind of drive he has, but he has a cell phone and he's a good guy. So Sugar on Apple TV, and you remind me to where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Remember?
Ooh, yeah. Well, okay, so
Ooh,
which iteration? Because there's a few.
no, the first one,
The
the
first one.
original one,
Well, because there was that was no, that was a because I
the one
think
that I watched was in the 90s.
the animated show or the live
Yeah,
action one. Okay, yeah, because
not
that
the
was the one.
animated show.
Did
Because you
you know?
remind me that with
Yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Did you know about the game show, the Carmen San Diego game show?
I never saw it, but I know
Oh,
it's.
so
I heard about it.
underrated. Apparently there was only one. I thought there was more because I remember watching it for long, which everything seems longer. Where in Time is Carmen San Diego? Great show.
Oh, Warring
Fantastic
Time, yeah.
show. Oh, it was
Actually, my
so good.
whole script from Time Warpers was inspired by Where Hell in Time is Carmen San Diego.
Yeah. Well, because normally Carmen San Diego, Carmen San Diego started out as a geography game, correct? For the
Yeah,
PC?
where in the world was
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it was a. I don't know if the cartoon was before that the game or
No,
the game was simultaneous.
the game was first because that was back when they actually gave a shit about teaching kids stuff and they thought about it when they were making games and
But it
whatnot.
was really good. I mean,
Well,
Carmen
because
Sandiego
people,
was hot and we never saw her face.
yeah, and Carmen, where in time was Carmen San Diego, where in time is Carmen San Diego, I believe was PBS. So that made sense, but it was a
Mhm.
great show. It's a
Well,
fantastic
let me
show.
tell you that Outside the States was a normal cartoon before the Thundercats. So, but anyway, yeah, if you can watch it, just go and watch it. I got another. I got a weird recommendation, but you go first.
Okay, so my music one, I actually need your help on because I had to step away. So I heard the song, but I didn't hear the name of it. It's one of the songs on Valaina's album that had that sick guitar solo. That absolute
FFF,
what's that?
FFF, I think.
FFF?
I said because I got the working name. Oh, Rachel is gonna kill us. I can tell you in a second. I can tell
Yeah,
you in a second.
because
Because I
that
got
was
the
a
list.
like keep in mind too, it took me by surprise and I was already digging the music. So, but I heard that absolute fucking
Fight,
face.
flight, freeze.
That's yes. Yes. Okay, I did hear it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's a good song. Um, yeah. I mean, my music recommendation always gonna be the full album from Valaina, right? Save Me From Myself. Totally two thumbs up. This is a good album. They're showing things from this new world metal, right? With and you can sing along. There's a fusion with pop, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool without sounding like Britney Spears, right?
Except fun fact, there's a cover,
The fun
which
fact
is
they did a cover of Weekend.
so fun. I don't know, like you'll find this funny. I that song's in my playlist, right? And every time it comes on, I have the same reaction because I'm not used to the intro yet. Every time it comes on, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I like it, but what is it? And then it goes into like
Yeah,
the melody you expect, and I'm like, oh right, yeah.
that's funny. My real recommendation of the week, I totally blanked out because I started thinking about the name from Belaina.
Well, while you're figuring that out, I have my weird recommendation, which actually ties
I
into
remember
Indiana.
now.
It ties into Carmen San Diego and Indiana Jones. So do you remember this back when LucasArts was making video games?
Yes.
So they made a PC game in the it would have been in the mid 90s, early to mid 90s, Indiana Jones and the Lost City of Atlantis.
Wow.
I had this game and I never finished it, and I'm stoked because I
Wow.
found
I did the
because
wow, right? I went there. Wow.
wow,
Wow.
wow. So I found an emulator and I'm gonna play it because I never finished it when I was a kid. I'd always get stuck on the same place. Um, but I got a fair way through it. The story's good enough to be a movie, but obviously it's more interactive, so it takes a little bit longer. But it's the opening credit scene is somewhat stressful because you actually have to play through it. It's kind of, and then you have to wait while the credits roll, but it's not that bad. But like I said, yeah, it's the story, at least from what I've seen of it, is good enough to be an Indiana Jones movie. I remember it being a lot of fun, so I'm stoked to play it again, but you should definitely check it out. And I feel like a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they know about it. Okay, I'm gonna go back because again, you woke up something in me, and I will do the other recommendation as a bonus. Jungle Hunt from Atari. I'm
Mm.
talking about the old Atari, the cassette. It was like that. It was just one stick, one button. Jungle Hunt. The guy is dressed like Indiana Jones, and the whole thing is that you jump into a line, right? And you don't fall into the crocodiles. That's it. They just change the color of the bag,
And it
but is
was
that
still one of the hardest games ever.
that one on pole position is still in my heart someplace.
Did you
Remember
ever
pole
play
position?
Yeah, did you ever play the ET Atari game?
Of course.
That's the hardest
Yes.
fucking game ever. Makes no sense.
Moonwalker was super hard too.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That game was so fucking frustrating, the ET one. And it's like no wonder it didn't sell.
You know that I probably have gonna have arthritis when I go old because the Olympics, right? You gotta go in rhythm for the guy to run. Then you go it was cool. Yeah, but Atari was cool. I had the chance like 10 years ago to buy an original Atari with original cassettes,
Did it work
and it
though?
was annoying. What? Sorry, not real, like the real thing, a
No, but did it
collector's item.
but did it work?
Yeah, perfectly. I got it to buy. It was Radio Shack still around, so I bought an adapter to. It was an HDMI, so probably like 15 years ago. It went normal to the red, white,
Yeah, the
and
RG.
yellow. Yeah, our RCA, and it was fun. It was fun, but I get so tired in a second. I went back to the big platforms, obviously, like the arcade that I have. Remember the Street Fighter? The first
Hmm.
interview you gave me, I got an arcade, and yes, I play once a day, but then I even start unplugging it because the all day was crazy. I do good. It's crazy, man. It was cool the first month. Bonus
Yoga
America
Fire.
Yoga Flame. That the there. I'm gonna invite America to watch a show from Colombia. It's in Amazon. I honestly, when I read the description and saw the picture, I go like, "Oh, this is an American show. This is an American show." And I started watching American till my sister told me, "Hey, dude, that guy's the most famous actor in Colombia." I go, like, "You're bullshitting me." So the voice lip, right? The dubbing is good. It's good enough to fool me. So you can watch it like that. It's the story of a 48-year-old man, actor, that he finds himself sick of his life. So he decides to leave his wife. He goes and live with his gay friend that is married with the other is dating the other gay friend. And the boyfriend, not the friend, the boyfriend of the friend is the other best actor in Colombia. You're talking about the top of the lead people that they even there doing things in the States. Man, you're gonna laugh so much. It's such an honest, funny perception of life because he's just 47 and he goes acting with people that are trendy on TikTok and they treat him like he's 85 and he's so frustrated at the same time and he's going through so many things. He falls in love, somebody breaks his heart, but the homosexual character, the gay character, that guy used to play the mean drug dealers shows, right, in Colombia. He plays the JJ, the biggest serial killer from the cartels in the world, and now he's playing it, and the development of the character is so pure and good that reminds you that you don't need, because in America now you need to be gay to play a gay guy. You know that. Thanks on Colombia didn't did that because that role is so well done. Try to watch it. The name is Primal in
Mm.
Spanish, right? On Amazon Prime. Primal, so good. You're gonna laugh a lot. I'm already in season two. I watched season one yesterday. It's so good, and it's just 30 minutes the episode. So if you're not a junkie like me, a 30 minutes here or there, it's gonna be good, man. But it's really it's something really good to watch. And before we go, sorry, um, there's a Mexican show in VIX where it doesn't have that platform. VS Vacation IX. And you can they have subtitles in English and they're dubbing in English. The name of this show is Consuelo. That's the
Mm.
name of a person. But Consuelo is connected to Mexico to comfort yourself in a sexual matter. Okay, so Consolador, that it will be dildo. Consuelo, Consolador. So it's the story of a woman in the 50s in Mexico that the husband left, and the only business that she can have is import dildos from
Ah!
France. Fuck, man, it's so good. It's really good. So let's open up America. Watch these shows. Peaks, you can have your 7 days free. Put Consuelo. You don't like it, whatever, right? This is not a paid promotion by Bix, but please come on, Bix, shoot
Come
us
on.
something. Because we always talk about all the platforms
Let's
here
see.
and on
Ven,
Amazon Prime
ven
Primal.
aquí. Ven aquí. Ven
There
aquí.
you go. So thank you, Jake. You want to add something? You have something else?
No.
No jokes?
Ow. No, it's your turn to do a joke.
Oh, why I gotta do all the jokes? I need to read it because I make my notes. But why I gotta do the jokes? You're not gonna do a joke?
No, we alternate.
Okay, to do it. I can do jokes.
We set this up for the
Oh,
first time.
oh, you sound okay. Little Johnny. Little Johnny was at school when his teacher asked the class, Jane, what did you do last weekend? Jane replied, I went for a ride on the choo-choo train. The teacher said, that's fantastic. But we need you to use grown-up words. Next time you say train, no choo-choo train. Tim, little Timmy, what did you do last weekend? Tim thought for a second and said, I went to Granny's and Grampy's house. Oh, that's lovely, honey, replied the teacher. But remember, we use grown up words, grandpa and grandma. Little Tim said, and then the teacher looked at little Johnny and she know, right? So it's like, Johnny, what did you did last weekend? And remember, use grown up words. Little Johnny says, think about it for a second. Says, I just read a book. The teacher's surprised because he didn't say something stupid, right? Or cursing. Says like, oh, that's very good. What was the name of the book? Oh, Winnie the Shed. It's funny. It's grown up words.
I like it. That's a good one.
Thank you. Um, so this is a funny one, and I go with this. There was a Roman emperor who never aged past the age of 19. Okay? His name was Constantine. Sorry, man.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's good. That's good.
Okay, my English lesson before we leave, okay? Tsunami, the T is silent. Honest, the H is silent. Psychology, the P is silent. Knife, the K is silent. Wife, the husband is silent. Class dismissed. Thank you very much. I'm here all weekend. Sorry. I was writing all day, so leave me alone. Anyway, was funny. So thank you very much, Jake. I know you're exhausted. I know it's late over there. Before we go, tomorrow, leading up the band, first podcast with Rachel from Valaina, with Meg Star, amazing hip hop artist, and with yours and only Virus Vox. Take it easy, people. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Jake. Thank you to the audience. Later.
Now fuck off.